2, 3 o'clock in the morning, he'd watch the Royal Rumble. And I asked all of his mates if we'd pick him up and throw him around like a rag doll and do a suplex and different holds. When we was at school, we really didn't know what we both wanted to do in life. So everybody else was going off doing their own thing. Me and Michael decided it was best if we stayed on for another year, because we didn't know what to do. So we didn't know what sort of subject we should study either, but we ended up doing a GMVQ in leisure and tourism. Well, I don't know why, because I turned out to be a scaffolder, and he tries to cook. But apparently he's supposed to be a good chef. But I think we should all let Tottenham Hotspur players decide that. As we went through school, Michael was always very well presented, very well dressed, and he always seemed to look after his money. And
Hasn't changed.
While I was out buying fags and sweets, he always used to be saving it for something else. And I was thinking, this man is always going to have a few quid in his pocket, and he's going to do well for himself. It turns out he hasn't done bad, but you'd think a man would like to support his future wife, as in now wife, and buy her anything that she wants, but instead of putting his hand in his pocket, he sets Rachel up on Ant and Deck Saturday night takeaway to earn money on the jiggy bank, which you all probably see, and you did do really well. Right, now on to the stag night. The stag night was amazing, but I did hear that the girls outdone the boys by partying longer than what we did. But I'm getting a bit old now and I can't stay up there. What did start to worry me, first thing, because we'd done paintballing, and I did start to worry about Michael's sexuality. Because when he turned up in a bright orange dress. Now if you'd like to take this envelope off of your table now, and open envelope number 1. You can all get to see. I'll open in a minute. No, good envelopes, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
There's 2 more to go, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
You haven't, have you?
Yes.
Well, after the paintball, which was very good, and he didn't play the game. He had the biggest body warmer on. He couldn't get shot. Nobody was getting him. I shot him about 10 times in the legs though, just to make sure. But in the evening, I couldn't believe my eyes, because he actually had another woman attached to him, literally, all night. And the camera never lied. So I opened envelope number 2.
Oh no.
You didn't.
Can we see this? No. It's all open.
Have you seen this?
Oh.
John's like, what have I done?
I've seen it.
What's going on with me?
Took me ages to decide which one it was.
Yeah.
Then after the evening, and quite a few beers later, they're still having a look. Yeah. Cheers, Gav. Back to the hotel afterwards. After we finished the night off with a cup of cocoa before bed. So if you'd like to open number 3, please.
This is what you didn't tell me.
Just a large cup of cocoa.
Yeah, just a large cup of cocoa. I don't remember that.
Oh.
version of Coco.
Let's have a look.
Right, I wouldn't like to say too much that would embarrass Michael, but it has been confirmed that he doesn't have to take off every item of clothing now to go to the toilet. And his first ever crush on a girl that he had, she turned out to be a lesbian. But I'm gonna go into a story now that was brought to light to me last night, so bear with me because I haven't wrote any of this down. But there was a couple of years ago when Michael had an operation, and bless him, which you have, got varicose veins, so I had to go to the hospital to have them take him out, which they did. But for 4 weeks afterwards, he had to wear surgical stockings, so they tell us. But he had to wear, and they kept falling down. So he goes to his mum and says, "I've got this problem, I can't keep my stockings up, what are you going to do?" Being a good mum, what would you go and do? So she gets Rachel and takes her to Ann Summers to buy a suspender belt to hold up his stocking. I would have loved to have had the picture. But not only did he obviously wear it for the 4 weeks, when Rose bought it for him, he actually put it on and come down the stairs and said, "Do I look good in this?" I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Michael for the honour, privilege and headache of being his best man. But he did say to me that if I do a good job today, he'll let me be his best man at his next wedding. Oh dear. Right, at this point I'd like to ask Michael and Rachel to participate in my speech. So if I could just move that. If I could ask you, Rachel, to put your right hand flat on the table. No. If you could put your left hand straight on top. Take a deep breath and savour that moment. That's the last time you will ever have the upper hand. Right, it gives me great pleasure, not to mention relief, to invite you all to raise your glasses and be upstanding as we toast the new bride and groom. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael and Rachel, the new Mr and Mrs Hulme.
Michael and Rachel.
Thank you very much. Who's that? The first best man to me.
I did ask you for photos.
And I have funny table room.
Yeah. But, what are all these?
That's the last time you're given vodka.
And it's the last time you're getting vodka the night. Well, not the night before the wedding, because that won't happen again. But, oh dear.